Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, I wanted to give you guys some of my thoughts regarding this Charisse and this whole Karen situation. But if you like to check out my watch along / review, definitely join me over on Patreon. Okay. Now, real quick, we know that Charisse and Miss Karen Huger have been beefing for such a long time, girl. For years, shall we say? All right. Now we did see on the previous episode where the ladies kind of got into it, especially after Charisse kind of mentioned attending Karen's mother's funeral where she offered support. Karen felt as though Charisse was speaking on her mom and coming for her mom or something, and I just have to disagree with that. I don't agree. I do not believe Charisse was coming for your mom. I think she was just trying to make a correlation between how she offered you support versus you offering her support. Okay. Karen also did a YouTube where she talked about Charisse coming to the funeral. And she said she suspected she would come, but she wasn't really sure. And for me, I just felt like I don't see anything wrong with you notifying her and let her know that she cannot attend. That's not an uncommon thing. I've seen that a lot on social media. I actually just saw a video last week on TikTok of this lady legit going off at her mom's funeral about people that showed up, and she was wondering why they attended when they know they didn't F with her mama like that when she was alive. Okay. So for me, y'all feel how y'all want to feel away and have a great day. I see nothing wrong if she would have sent a message and been like, not either a message or by messenger or whatever. Like, nah, you might want to sit this one out. You feel what I'm saying? But either way, Charisse showed up. She gave support. Karen felt as though that support was not genuine because Charisse ended up mentioning it on the show. Now, this is where I was with Karen because I just felt like don't do that. Don't try to use that as a in a sense. Like, don't try to hang that over my head like I should be a kinder person to you because you did something out the goodness of your heart and something you chose to do. I didn't ask you to come to my mom's funeral. Okay. In the words of Karen, I didn't ask you to do that. So if I don't care for you or like you like that, like, girl, what do you expect from me? I didn't even want you there. So don't try and hang that over my head because that's what you did because that was something you wanted to do. So I was kind of with Karen on that about the genuineness of it all. Like, how genuine was it? Like, I don't need you to bring that up to me every time I turn my head or whatever. Now, I do feel like when Charisse sat down at the table and they kind of talked about it, and Charisse was kind of trying to tell her like how she was there for her versus how she wasn't there for her when her dad, passed away. Karen was like, "Girl, I sent you a text message, whatever." Da 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 da. They had that quick conversation. So, Karen did not show up to, I guess, Charisse's father's funeral. Not sure if it was local or whatever, but Karen didn't show up. And I actually do respect Karen for not showing up because if I don't really rock with you like that, I might send you a text, but I'm probably not going to show up out of respect for your family or whatever the case may be. But some people may feel like, hey, let me show my support. Let me go, in hopes of maybe we'll get back on one accord and they'll see this as a good gesture or whatever the case was. Okay. So either way, those are the decisions that they chose to make. Okay, Charisse chose to attend, Karen chose to send a text message. All right, now Charisse gets in her confessional and she just pretty much saying like, oh well, it was kind of like a real short, it was like a quick sentence. Well, Karen wanted to make sure that she aired out, girl, it was not a quick sentence. Okay, so let me go ahead and just show y'all what it is that this text message said. So it says, Charisse, my family and I want to extend our condolences on the passing of your father. Know that God is in charge and he is at rest. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. When time permits, I would like the address where flowers are being received. If there is a charity you would like us to donate in memory of, please advise. Again, both of you and your family are in our thoughts and prayers. Okay. And then Charisse goes on to say, thank you, Karen, your kindness and thoughtfulness. Let's see what else she says. Your kindness and thoughtfulness, thoughtful words mean a lot during this difficult time. Okay. So that is what Charisse ended up saying in response to Karen. So Charisse, you lied when you said that lady sent you a little quick little snippet, a little sentence. No, Karen sent a very nice text message, in my opinion. She sent the text message where she was even willing to, send flowers or even donate in honor of your father. And I feel like that was her nice gesture of paying you back for also showing up at her mom's, funeral or whatnot. So I felt like that was very nice of Karen. Y'all just got some other issues or whatever. that y'all got going on that y'all need to go somewhere and try and sort out. Karen is not at a place where she's interested in moving forward and having any type of relationship with Charisse. And if you feel like Charisse Karen is a person that's assassinating your character or whatever, why would you want to be friends with that person? All right. So I don't really see it going anywhere. We did see at the table where Giselle tried to make something happen. Karen wasn't interested in entertaining that conversation, but Robin tried to force the issue of a conversation between the ladies and get Karen to apologize to Charisse. Now, granted, Karen apologized to the whole group, but she did not apologize directly to Charisse. I do think that Karen should have apologized to Charisse, okay? When you say this lady's trying to break up families, whose families? Now, I do feel like Karen should have responded and told her, girl, mine for one. Okay, you try to put some stories out there about me. What about that, girl? So, my family for one, and just other things that Karen said out to Charisse at the table. I felt like Karen owed Charisse an apology. Charisse saying that Karen was out here messing with a married man or whatever, girl, you owe that lady an apology. I feel like they both should have definitely apologized to each other. Let it be what it is. They're not going to, exist in the same space. Karen just don't see it for this lady. Now, I mean, I don't know what the deeper parts of it is. I know Karen said that she wants to sit back and watch what the loyalty is all about when it comes to Robin and Giselle, because she's not really understanding, like, why is y'all so clicked up with this lady? I just want to sit back and watch it. Maybe she got some tea on y'all, and I'm like, girl, if that's the case, she got tea on everybody. If you ask me, Robin calls out Karen for her behavior and tries to say, oh, well, the way that Karen is acting is not representative of who she wants to, represent or pretend to be. I do think Karen is fake at times. I will definitely say that. I think that Karen definitely gives us, a fakeness. All right. She tries to put up a front about things. I definitely agree with that for sure. In that particular moment, I disagree with you, Robin. And I say that because she was pissed off. Like, she was talking to a person that she does not really care for, and they actually were arguing. What did you want her to do? When you're arguing with somebody, you're not going to stay in character. Okay, you just not. All right. So when you say that the way that she acted versus the person she's trying to portray were different, duh, they're going to be different because she's upset with this woman, okay? And it sounded like it was built up issues that she's never addressed, and she was starting to lash out on her. So I expected that response from Karen. Not really, because we're not used to seeing Karen blow up, but as far as her being upset to the point that she did blow up, I really don't see a whole lot wrong with it, right? But you also was the person that had nothing to say when Mia actually lost her cool and got physical with another person. Karen didn't get physical with that woman. Karen just said what she had to say. Charisse said what she had to say, banged on tables, and did everything else. So, I mean, I'm not necessarily following about the character that you wanted her to have in that particular moment. You know what I'm saying? But that's just, if you ask me. Giselle brings up the conversation about Queen of Potomac and then says that there's no question about it. The Queen of Potomac is Karen. Listen, I'm sorry, not Karen, but she says Charisse. I don't care. I do not care. Like, can we let this whole Queen of Potomac thing go? What are we comparing that to? Like, I will be one to believe that Charisse probably does have more money than Karen, right? I would think that's possible, right? But are we basing it on money? Are we basing it on looks because Karen looks more put together than Charisse does? She has her fashions together, her hair be on point. Is that what we're basing it on? Or is Karen Queen of Potomac because she's remained on the show longer than Charisse has remained on the show? Although Charisse is responsible for bringing majority of the cast together. Now, I just feel like let's let this whole talk go. Everybody is Queens of Potomac, girl. I don't think that Karen is in charge of the girls for no reason. Just like I don't think Charisse is really in charge of the girls for no reason. Like, girl, y'all all queens in y'all own rights. It is what it is, ensemble cast. You feel what I'm saying? And another thing that was interesting that I did not quite know before was that Charisse did not handpick Karen to be a part of this show. It was actually one of Charisse's close friends that had something to do with Karen being a part of this show. I guess the person or someone had Karen sitting at Charisse's table, and I feel like this was a conversation at some point about Karen sitting at Charisse's table, and that kind of had me a bit confused. And now I know Karen was sitting at that table. People assumed that Karen was one of Charisse's friends, and that's how she made her way onto the show, which was very interesting because last year around this time, Bravo did an interview with Charisse, and they kind of talked about how she was in charge of bringing a lot of the ladies together for this particular show. I don't really remember whether or not they mentioned Karen at all, but Bravo definitely, in my opinion, when they did the interview with her a while back, kind of played it up like, Charisse had a lot to do with who we chose for the show. She pretty much picked all of the ladies. Like, that's kind of how I took it, because I remember saying to myself, I believe Charisse may be returning back to Potomac in some type of fashion, because why would you guys do a special updated series or whatever, updated interview on Charisse in particular? So yeah, definitely. So that was really news to find out. And Karen had me screaming inside because she wanted to make sure, right? Okay, clocked it. Okay, let everybody know you ain't had nothing to do with me, baby. Da 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 da. All right. So Karen wanted to call that out, but I still want to know, like, what is it? Is it the lack of genuineness for attending a funeral? I think y'all both were being genuine. Although I feel like if you didn't want that lady there, you should have told her not to come. And I also think that she should have knew to not show up as well. Just like you didn't show up to her dad's funeral. You know what I'm saying? Just respect the space that y'all in, right? But I still feel like it is something deeper. I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. Feel away and have a great day. I feel like, girl, it is some other stuff going on. Like, Karen, do you feel like Charisse is in charge of the girls, like, or something? Like, when Charisse gets around, like, does she try and sun y'all or something, and you just don't feel comfortable with how she be out there operating, or what's really going on? Or is it that now it is possible that you just don't like a person's vibe, and that could definitely just be what it is, period? Because I'm sure there are a ton of people that have been in spaces where they kind of just sat back and observed how a person moved, and based on just watching how they move and stuff, you just know, like, that ain't my cup of tea. Like, I'm cool. I'm going to keep them at a distance. I kind of see how they move with their friends. And I don't even want to get too close to where they try and play me like that, because I already know how I'm going to act. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, it could be that as well. But I just wanted to bring the conversation to you guys real quick. Is it possible we could let this whole Queen of Potomac thing go? Or are we going to continue to try and choose who's who? That's all that I got, honey. I'm Jamie, that's me. Definitely follow me over here on Instagram, Twitter, all that great stuff. Be sure to like the video if you have yet to do so. Also, subscribe to the channel as well, okay? I'm Jamie, that's me. That's all I got for you guys, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.